and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah. Getting live with it, baby. Good to see you, everybody. What is happening? Happy Wednesday. Happy February. Happy 2026. Let's just start calling it 26. Let's like the 90s, you know. It was 94, 95.
26.
You know? 1738.
6'7".
Hey, what's up? Hello. Good to see you guys again. Welcome to the show. My name is Jack Dwyer. With me here is...
I'm Jay Smooth.
And again, welcome to Hawk Wins Radio Picture Show, where we're coming to you live Wednesday nights from the beautiful, luxurious Q4 Radio in the beautiful city of Chicago, Illinois.
And I guess you can call this season 2, right?
I guess you can.
You know?
I guess you can. We took a little hiatus, which has been nice. Jay, how have you been spending your time outside of the show?
Fucking getting fat, bro. I've been eating a lot.
That's good. That's good. Getting the winter bod, man. We're in hibernation mode right now.
You know what I mean?
Staying warm. That's good.
You gotta indulge in everything.
Staying wet and fed. That's good. Just like a fish. That's good.
I love being a fish.
Sometimes it's good to take a little break from some stuff. You know, it's as much fun as this show is. It's cool because we're here every Wednesday, bringing you guys live entertainment, showing you what Chicago has to offer when it comes to live entertainment and arts and film and puppetry and comedy and filmmaking. And it's really such a blessing to have all these people on board. And, you know, you really get a little jaded sometimes until you step away and you're like, wow, this is a really cool thing that we're doing. This is a really important thing that we're doing.
Home sweet home.
And it's home sweet home. It's good to be back in.
Do you have I guess not favorite because they're all our favorites, more memorable moment, memorable guest from last season?
You know, I loved every episode. I really genuinely get super excited coming and going from the show. Gosh, to name a couple, Val and the Villains, those guys were awesome. I really enjoyed having them on board. They were super fun. It's been fun following along their progress. I think the night that you and I got a little tipsy with Odd Prince, that was a very memorable night.
And you branded yourself.
Yeah, well, I didn't do that on the show, but and then who else? You know, I really enjoyed having Miss Ammunition on the show too. I thought she was quite a delight.
I enjoy getting spanked a little bit.
Yeah, getting spanked on the show. That's always a fun time. How about you, man? Who's your favorite artist been?
I like some of the wrestlers we had on just because I got beat up a little bit, and then I like having the dude from Spangoolie. That guy was fucking dope.
Scott Grider, yeah.
Let's see who else. I mean, all of them were kind of my favorite, man. You know, I had a good time.
Yeah, I think you get off on getting beat up by these wrestlers, which I don't blame you, man.
Sometimes you find out things about yourself that you didn't know in very unexpected situations like that.
Sometimes we just want to be Big Spoon or Little Spoon and just get a little manhandled. Sometimes makes you feel alive again. It's good. Shit. It's good. Come on. It's good living fun. But no, for all of you guys who have ever been to our show, who've ever watched our show before, we just want to say thank you for watching the show. Please check out all of our episodes. We do stream live on Wednesdays. We stream live, we record live, and then we pop them into our video section. So if you're interested in seeing any of the other artists that we've had on the show, please go into our video section, check out those artists, give them a follow, go into the description. They're going to have all the artists' information, how to get in contact with them, how to follow them on social media. It will direct you to their websites. So yeah, check out the artists. We have a lot of really cool artists on the show that have been on the show and are going to be on the show. And if you or anyone you know wants to be on Hawk Wins Radio Picture Show, again, this is a platform for artists to showcase their stuff, to get out there and tell some stories, have the audience get to know them a little bit more than just their onstage personas, which I think is another really cool part of this show is that, you know, we have all of these like characters that come on the show. And it's really funny to see their onstage persona and then for us to kind of pull back the veil a little bit and get to really kind of know them more on an intimate level. I think that's a really fun part of what we do.
So how was your father like?
Yeah. Tell me, what was your relationship like with your mother? Full on Freudian, getting into the deep stuff. Ooh, hey, good to see you guys.
Well, anyways, who do we have on tonight?
Well, my friends, here on Hawk Wins, we love to showcase live comedians and stand-up comedians. Everybody, please welcome to the show, Sonal Aggarwal.
Sonal.
Again, I'm sounding more and more like my dad. Sonal, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on Hawk Winds. We really appreciate you having you on. And sorry the blistery, cold Chicago weather kind of held you back, but you're here.
Let's blame
safe.
the weather. It was the weather's fault.
That pesky little groundhog. One of those two.
Yeah, that wrote in.
Sonal, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
For those who have never heard of you before, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Sonal Aggarwal. I'm resident annoying person professionally that I do stand-up comedy. That's my thing. And what else? What else is there to be said that hasn't been said before?
Your bio says actress as well.
Yes, I sure do send in a lot of self-tapes. That's like auditioning. That's doing auditioning. I feel like I haven't done that in a minute. But I've done all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I've done theater. I did a children's play in North Carolina.
Very fun.
A play that was adapted from a young adult novel, I guess it's called The Night Diary. And she's like a South Asian lady. I do a lot of like South Asian stuff because that's what kind of brown I am. I'm like looking right at Jay when I say it.
I was going to say, are there different kinds of brown?
Yeah, there's like your kind, then there's my kind, there's Jack's kind. Jack is the white kind.
I don't think Jack qualifies as a brown.
Hey, we're all potato
Maybe.
color, okay?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Look, he's so inclusive. What about you, Jay? What kind of brown are you?
I'm a mountain brown.
Oh, hell yeah.
Brown.
I'm a beach brown. I'm a beachy one. Yeah. What else? I'm excited to be here. Today was really warm, actually, comparatively.
Yeah.
I mean, are we not acting like we're not from here? We're from here.
We got a full 26 degrees today.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Damn heat wave.
I was walking around, no gloves.
No gloves.
Just naked. I know. I put my gloves on to walk from the car to here. I was like, okay, let's not be overzealous.
So Sonal, tell us, how did you get into comedy for the first time? You know, have you always been comedic? What were you like as a kid, and when did you fall into comedy?
I was always funny, which I think is not really the mold. You know, I was like very much like a tomboy-ish girl, you know, that was like climbing stuff. I was a real bruiser growing up, so you got to be like, I'm okay, but my pride's hurt when you're falling, and you know what I mean? Like it's all, I don't know, it's a trauma response also, just like being othered and being the weird one. So you're like, oh, but look, I'm funny, so I'm not gonna rob you. You know, I'm not a threat. Look how cute and funny I am. And also just I was always really into traveling more from the time that I was very young. And if you can make somebody laugh in their language, they're like, I'm not gonna rob you. You know, and then that would be a protection around you as well. So then people would be like very trusting. If you could make somebody laugh, then they're like, I will protect her. And then I got into stand-up because I didn't get into stand-up till I was in my 30s. I think that it's so crazy that super young people that are like in high school and stuff, because you have to have so much emotional resilience to endure how toxic the environment can be, especially in the entry level like open mic phase that you know, it's just a lot of fellas, it's a lot of dudes in the dark drinking booze. That's a double DB threat, a DDB threat. Boys, booze, there's got to be a triple D or triple B there someplace. But
a lot of dick bits.
lot of dick bits in the dark.
Yeah.
And you're like, and what's funny is those guys, if you are a girl identifying person and you are thinking about doing stand up, like they're also so relieved to see a girl when it's like a room of 30, 40 boys, like, oh, finally a girl, maybe she'll have a original take on the dick jokes or whatever, you know. And then just to go from when I was a kid, the very quick timeline, I was a fire dancer before I was a stand up comedian. So I left fire dancing for the stability of stand up. That's my funny joke that I do. And like when I'm emceeing or whatever. And
you can't be a funny burn victim, that's for sure.
well, you must be. I know a lot of them actually. We could, and some non-survivors. We got really real really fast. But I was because I was in a motorcycle accident from not from fire dancing, but from living that. I mean, just like that kind of wild and reckless lifestyle, if I really think about it like that. And then from the motorcycle accident, I was like, I guess I got to start doing stand-up.
You were in a motorcycle accident. What the hell?
Yeah, in India. It was like, so it's like being in a car accident because of the population. There are so many more bikes on the road than there are cars. So it's not like I was on the 90. You know what I mean? I was more like on Western or something, or but like at a highway speed. Maybe Ogden Avenue to relate it to local highway scenario. Yeah, I was in a hit and run, and and my leg broke, and then it wasn't set properly, so it was a very long. That was in 2015. And then I started doing stand up in 2016. So it's my 10 year. I've completed my 10 years.
Was there a moment in that experience that was the trigger, or that was the thing that pushed you over the edge to do comedy?
I don't know. Maybe I was like dragging myself to the side of the road. I was like, I guess I got to stand up comedy.
This will be a great bit.
I guess I better get funny. And more than it was going to be a great bit, it was like now I can actually sit down, quite literally. You know, it was like the universe kind of took me and was like, "This is you can't move now." So you can't rely on your body to do stuff. So now you have to, and like the first time speaking into a mic, because I like play ukulele and do little covers, and you know, as an MC, I'm always throwing in. You know, I got my little.
There you go.
You hear it in the mic? I brought my own air horns.
True professional.
Because I started emceeing, and that's how I was kind of introduced. I was hosting like festivals and random stuff in India. And as like a non-resident Indian, that's what it's called. When you're an American-born Indian person, you're called an NRI over there. Over here, you're called an ABCD, which is an American-born confused Desi. It's a lot of slurs. I have my own. It's not. It's just a categorization. And they would be like, "Oh, the band's not ready yet. So can you do your ha 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 funny blah 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 thing for a few minutes, you know?" And then they'd be like, "She's a comedian," and I'm like, no, don't misrepresent like I'm from Chicago. I'm from the Chicagoland area. I'm from the suburbs, so I know what it is to be a stand-up comedian, and I am not that yet. I'm just somebody who's comfortable going on stage and speaking very loudly into a microphone. You know, more to like gather attention and follow a script. When you're an MC, it's like, okay, and up next we have the, you know, Sri Raj School of Dance or whatever. You know, so yeah.
You know, it was funny when we knew we were going to have you on the show. It was funny just reading more about you and learning about your Indian descent. And when I was working for the tour companies in Chicago, doing the double-decker buses, I always got so excited when I had people from India on the bus, because they are the funniest people, and they genuinely love to laugh. And like you were saying earlier, when you can make someone laugh and they're like, "I'm not going to rob you. It's okay. You can trust me." They just like, you know, some of the nicest, sweetest travelers. Maybe it's also because I told them I was Jack, and apparently there's a guy named Jackie Moon who's a famous Indian actor, I believe.
And I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
But they would always call me Jackie Moon. But you know, do you have any you know, advice, or I guess, you know, what do you think it is about Indian culture and comedy that goes kind of hand in hand in the acceptance? And what is Indian humor to you?
A lot of body shaming, and that's at the heart of it, you know. And it is, oh my God, like I remember like Golu is something that they say just for as a term of affection, right? And I had somebody visiting, and he asked, and they always call my sister that, you know. I'm like Sonu and Monu. That's my sister's Monica, so they call her Monu also, but they call her Golu. And my friend is like, what does Golu mean? And my mom's like, it means round. Like so proudly. And me and my sister were like, oh, yo, what the fuck? This whole time. And my mom starts laughing so hard. She's like, yeah, and English is not cute. You know, and like, so stuff like, you know, anytime I speak Hindi, which is my native language. Actually, my native language is Punjabi, but I don't speak Punjabi because I'm displaced, colonization. The British, I blame the British. And I do speak English like this, though, so that's what's up. Thank you to the Redcoats. I guess I like how I sound.
The Redcoats are coming.
The Redcoats are coming, indeed. Yeah, they really came for us, the Redcoats. You know about that? Jesus Christ, fuck those guys. Oh. And my mom, whenever I try to speak Hindi to her, she'll like kind of laugh, and I'm like, what? Like, help me to speak better. And I'm like, are you making fun of me? And she's like, I'm not making fun of, I'm making fun with. And fun is fun. So it's that kind of thing where it's like, what is it like? The overpopulation, when it's 3 times as many people are in the United States with a third of the space. So imagine like 3 times more people with only a third of the country. Jesus. And we're all on top of each other. Like, you better have a fucking sense of humor. Or you're like really serious. Also, were they bad tippers?
Oh. No.
Actually, thank God. No, Good job, guys. The stereotype is shifting. Jackie Moon, because when people in the service industry are always like, why are Indians such bad tippers? I'm like, I'm sorry. We're not a monolith. It is bad, though.
No, with that job, I was like, tips are always great, but if you laugh at my joke, that's just as good of a tip for me, Can I ask, I don't want to be offensive, but what is it about the Indian like head nod shake when there's like humor or like delight? Is that an actual thing?
How old are you guys? If you don't mind me asking. I
stopped
you look
counting.
very young. You look beautiful.
I just turned 29 last month.
Okay,
or 2 months
you're
ago.
a similar age.
I stopped counting. I'm 34.
Okay, so you're young baby boys. Because have you heard of this is so bad. I'm such a fucking old auntie right now. Have you heard of You Kick My Dog?
Yeah.
Do you know You Kick My Dog? The prank phone call? It's like 90.
Oh, yeah.
You know it? Oh, thank God.
You kick my dog.
Your daughter should come to my house. And it's a white guy doing like a brown accent because it's, somebody said that I'm like the J.K. Simmons of Whiplash. Is that a movie? Have you heard of this?
I think so.
Where he's a music teacher or something, and he's really intense and he's really cunty, and then he's like, that's what you're like with people doing Indian accents. Where I get really invested. I'm like, this is not good. This is good. You have to do it proper bobble. And I get like, people are like, this is not funny anymore. You're really intense. And I'm like, if you're gonna do an Indian accent, do a good Indian accent. True. Is what I'm saying. If you're just like, you kick my dog, like that sucks. Do a proper. And I was showing it to these comics who I went on the road with to Rockford, these much younger guys. The one, he was like, I think I'm like way younger than him. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You know who you are if you listen to this. And I was showing them You Kick My Dog. They had never seen it before. And I'm like, he's 19 years old. Is this still funny? And I was like, I can't believe I was so nervous about these kids. I don't have any fucks available for these children, and they thought it was funny. And I was like, phew, I still got it. And it was still funny.
There was an app with that voice recording of "You kicked my dog," but it was like a prank call. So you would call people, and instead of your voice, it would be that dude's voice, and like the other person on the line would be like a real person. They'd be listening to that recording, but they would have like pauses in between, so they could like answer and stuff. And I just remember me and my friends prank calling people with that like voice like fucking thing.
The evolution of the prank phone call. Where it turns into the prank phone call being a prank phone call.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in response to your question, the head bobble means like all sorts of stuff. Like.
Is it okay if I asked about that?
Yeah, absolutely. If you were like, what's with the fucking bobble? Y'all be bobbling. I'd be like, Jay, I feel uncomfortable. But you were like, what is the head bobble? And actually, I was observing some whites in the wild. No, we were sat together.
Whoa, you do that too?
You gotta be keeping an eye on these guys. I was in conversation, but they're like, somebody said something like, us Indians we're late all the time, and I was like, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if I know that. I'm not like us Indians. I'm not one of you, and I was like, I never really thought about that when you're outside of the group what it's like hearing about the stereotypes because we're living them and we're like, oh my God, we're so late. Like today, that's part of why I felt so bad. I was like, oh, no, I'm perpetuating a negative stereotype. You know?
It makes you feel any better. There's a lot of races that run late.
Oh my God.
I think just Browns in general run late.
Thank you. You guys are like, you were late, but so are all of the Browns.
It's okay. I was late too.
And I got that you guys sent the message so late. It was like a half hour after we were supposed to go live. I was already like an hour. Okay.
It's
you guys
all
don't
right.
need to know about that.
I have ADHD late, so I'm like, I'll hyper focus on something of not being
on being
late
super
and then,
early?
Yeah.
Because usually for shows, I'm there very early. They're like,
Yeah.
the venue is not open yet. Why are you here? I'm like, because I'm overcoming a negative stereotype. And these white people are like, what negative stereotype? We don't know other Browns. You know what I mean? Does anyone have a tissue? Is there like a tissue available? No, that's a
Wanna
no.
use my sleeve?
Yeah, for real.
I don't know if we have tissues.
Right here.
Oh, boys. They're just coming straight into their socks. Oh, thank you. Favorite
Is that not what we're supposed to do with that?
Yeah, it is. My bad.
Shit. I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
I've been using my bandana. I'm kidding.
Did you have a bunch of like random building knowledge because of doing the tours?
Yeah.
Like, that's the Aqua building.
Yeah.
It was built by a woman. It sucks.
No, I like that.
No, I'm
That's
just
one of my
kidding. I'm
favorite
just kidding.
buildings. No, I'm at the point now where I kind of annoy people with it. Where I'm
I
like,
love that.
look at this. This is, and they're like, Jack, I didn't ask for any of that.
What's one of your favorite fun facts about the building?
Oh.
I didn't give a fuck about the buildings growing up. I was like such a Lisa Simpson.
Yeah.
I was like, this used to be a beautiful swamp. And now this is disgusting. Look at these horrendous buildings. But then you go to other cities and you're like, oh no, this is ass.
Right.
Chicago is actually kind of cool.
We got it going on, yeah.
You know.
I think my favorite fact, though, to answer that question of when you saying that it used to be a swamp is the fact that Chicago means smelly onion.
Yeah.
It used to be, it was just because it was a big swampland. The only thing that would grow here were, smelly
That's
onions.
not building knowledge. That's Chicago history knowledge.
Yeah. I don't
Tomatoes,
What about like
potatoes.
ghost stuff? Do you know any ghost stuff?
know. I know a lot of ghost stuff.
Oh, I love ghost stuff.
know a lot.
I'm pro ghost. If you guys can hear me, I'm
You're a believer in
cool.
ghosts?
I mean, why not?
Have you ever had a ghostly experience?
Sure, I felt like a tuft of air and been like, what the fuck? There's no fan on. You know what I mean?
They're there.
I'm just like excited to believe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if it's not evidence based, it's just like, sure, it's like God.
Right. Like, I don't want to be the schmuck who said it wasn't a thing, and then you see it being a thing.
And then you
everyone's
show
like,
up at the pearly gates and you're like, I was a schmuck,
Sorry,
let me in.
This whole time, I could have been talking to fucking Casper.
Yeah.
Here I was, being religious, thinking it wasn't a thing.
Maybe Casper's right there. Like, acknowledge me. You know, somebody's got to believe in them. I think that's somebody else's bit. That sounds.
Should we have a seance on the show?
Somebody's got to believe in. Somebody's got to believe in the ghosts, right? Yeah, that's a bit. Oh my God, it's so annoying being a comedian and you disrupt a conversation, being like, "That is a bit that I saw. I don't want to steal bits."
How hard is that now? Is
Very hard.
An up and coming comic, because you got to think about it, because it's like everything's been said since the existing of time,
And we
But,
exist like chronically online.
right?
So I'll be like speaking out loud and be like, "That's totally like a post that I read."
Right.
You know, and then I'm like, is that my real lived experience? Or is that something that I said in joke form? Or did somebody else say this? And then how close is it to what they said? Yeah.
Now, how does that change your writing style when you're writing now? Do you have these thoughts when, like we were saying, we're in conversation, you're like, oh, it would be a funny bit. Do you write it down then? And how much of that gets filtered out because of what you were just saying of like, oh, I think somebody already did that?
I wouldn't say it gets filtered out. If you're gonna steal a joke, no, I'm just kidding. There has to be IP is very tricky in the stand-up world because I think it hasn't happened to me yet where like you have an idea and you feel like it's pretty clearly fleshed out and then it exists in the noosphere and somebody else posts like the exact same joke before you do and then that's kind of how you have the intellectual property on it. It's like, well, I already posted it, therefore it's my joke or my tweet or whatever. And you just want to write something in your own voice or true to your own experience. I think I can't think of anything specifically where I've had to be like, oh, I had to drop that. I can't tell it anymore. It's too close. But it is something that you try to be aware of.
Sure.
You know, and like, I mean, I got a notebook under here someplace. Boom. I got a notebook. notebooks. All my, and then squiggly lines.
What's your last idea you've wrote down?
What's my last in this? I mean, I always have a bunch of notebooks on me, and it's not sequential, right? So I don't know what. I don't care how many of you there are. You're all white. Jesus Christ. Brown on brown violence. There we go. Balance. I keep calling this girl Persian, and she's like, I'm Pakistani. And I'm like, it's really up to you if you think about it. What the hell? Okay, I shouldn't read from this anymore.
People are going to steal your jokes.
The people are going to be like that. And what's really funny is like all the BTS of stuff that's really not funny. You know, like, and there's so many comedians who are not fun. A lot of us are very, very fun, but a lot are not fun hangs. You know, it's like, oh my God, who you are on stage is so different from who you are off stage. You know, it's like, it's an act or whatever. I'm not really like that.
How would you say you go in those lines? Or do you have more of a
same.
performance, or you're the same on stage and off stage?
Yeah. It's exhausting. I'm tired.
It's so tiring to be so great all the time.
Sometimes like, stop. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm delighted with myself all the time. No, and it is funny when you do feel like, you know, you exist in the public. Again, I was late for this because I just need an assistant, is what I'm saying. Dude, is there anyone out there who's available to be my intern? That would be fucking great. And I feel so bad because it's like, I know that I exist as part of something bigger than myself, right? So that's the other thing, that you want to just have integrity as a joke writer, because it spreads so quickly too. If it's like, you know, she's stealing material. Although once you get to a certain level, you can just like Amy, not Winehouse, Schumer. I mean, R.I.P. Winehouse, the Schumer. She's like a known joke thief, you know, and that's like, did you guys know that?
I've heard.
See?
I've never met the gal.
See what I mean? Even Jack has heard about it. Like, that's how known it is. You're not like, oh, what?
And you know what I think it is, though? And because there's been a couple of other big name comedians who people have claimed have stolen jokes. Some have been proven that they've stolen jokes. But I think where the hang up is a lot of them have writers. So
That's
if
different.
a writer, but now here's the ethics of it.
Right,
If
if
a
the
writer
writer
was to be at some
steals.
crummy, you know, open mic, thought this guy coming up for the third time, oh, that's a good bit. I'm going to take that,
Pitch that bit.
pitch that bit to
Yeah.
the higher up. And then it becomes IP once they do it, as you say.
That's
you
different
know?
though, because we're speaking specifically about like working with an opener and stealing bits from the opener that you are working with, where it's like, you know, you can see it happening in real time, where you're like, I know that you saw me do that bit and now you're doing that bit, but I can't do anything to go against that because you are the higher power here, you know. And I mean, there's a lot of really toxic power dynamics, you know, like even with all like the creepy dude stuff, you can't really, I'm not in a position to be like, you know, don't go up here, don't go up there, you know. I'm like, I'm just trying to do my stage time and get out, you know, and then like build. And I would love to get to the point where I can like really curate who and where I'm working with, but that's an incredible privilege to get to that point. I don't know if there's a better way for me to work with sexually complicated people, to be as diplomatic as possible.
You run the show, make your own show, you know. Where would you like to be, 5-10 years down the line with your career?
I would like to just have financial security, really, and feel like this is my job, and I can just relax knowing that I have good dates lined up and have like solid merch that I'm excited about, and fans that are excited to give me their money.
Have you thought about dating a doctor or marrying a doctor?
Sure. Yeah. Do you think that would help?
No pressure from the family on that? No.
Career? That was racist.
I'm kidding. That was your joke I stole from you. No, I've heard a lot of people say that, though. They're like, I'm just going to like marry rich and then like just do the career thing. Because it is hard. It is hard to juggle. Are you seeing anyone? Do you mind if I ask you that?
I'm like very actively dating. I'm out here. I'm in the phone. You know, I do a bit about it. I'm like, are you guys on the apps? I'm on the apps. I'm on Hinge, Bumble, Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. So then I go, you got a couch? You come with a couch? I just need someplace to lie down. It's a fun bit. And then there's Adam Burke, great comedian, and he's got a joke where he's like, I think the only reason anyone is on any of the dating apps is to get material for stand-up comedy, like whether or not you're a comedian, because it's just so funny. And it's I feel like I'm at the age where, and I mean, I don't think it's just my age. I think that everyone should have this perspective of like, we're all so lucky to get to experience each other. And, you know, I come from a culture of arranged marriage, you know, and like the orgasm in general is a myth. You know what I mean? Like not just female or male, like it's just not something that you like speak of openly. So even to have a crush is such an incredible privilege, you know, and I remember being really aware of that as a teenager and a kid, where it's like, I would be so fucking weird, you know. I was like, I'd like be expressing my love to these boys in high school, like, oh my god, do you feel that? I just like, I like love you, and like I like don't even need you to be here. And they're like, okay, psycho. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm you know, I've been in love. I feel like sad when I meet people my age that are like, I've never dated, I've never been in love before. I'm like,
wow, what's that like?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, like from your perspective to their perspective, are they super awkward? Like,
no, it's just I think that, you know, and I'm not trying to judge anyone's experience.
Sure.
I just know for me, I feel so grateful to even, you know, have loved and lost or whatever, you know, just to be able to feel so much. I obviously feel like I dated a like famous fire dancer guy, and I mean, ideally we would be like married and have kids in a mansion, but he was like in Ireland, which sucks. No offense, white people, but
hey, watch it.
Are you Irish? Have you
I'm
been to a land? Have you been to an island?
I have not been to the motherland.
Have you seen that
no.
trend where it's like when you realize that Ireland is an island, or when you realize Sri Lanka is an island, like, and they put on reggaeton, like, I can't do a reggaeton sound, and these Irish guys winding the waist. It's so good. Yeah, I did. I was
the song
in
of my
love with
people.
I was the song of your people. That's right. Shall I switch over to my Irish accent?
You do a good Irish accent.
That's right, because I was there for a while, wasn't I? I was there. I do a Cork accent, exclusively from Cork. That's the only accent I know how to do. 'Tis only gorgeous. And I was like, I cannot live here for the rest of my life. I need to get the fuck. I need black people around me.
I need seasoning on my food.
I need
right?
you know what's funny? His parents were chefs, so it was like very, very intense food situation. They like met teaching a cooking class in India or something like in the 70s. Like very, very special people, which I love them. I love, shout out Letter Column Project, shout out Karen and Khan. I think they're like teaching how to cook in the Canary Islands or something right now. They're incredible, incredible people. At one point I was like, am I in love with you, my ex-boyfriend, or am I in love with your family? Because they were like calling me like future daughter-in-law, and my mom thought that Ronan was my colleague at that point in my life, you know. And I'm like, yeah, we work together. We're doing fire dancing shows together, and he's making a fire dance in my pussy right now. You know, like when she came to find out, it was. Do you remember Skype?
Yeah.
Do. That's the Skype song. And I told her on Skype, I was like, I was in Ireland for Christmas. For fuck's sake, Christmas in Ireland is so lit. We were having like champagne with Christmas breakfast, and it's like 3 days of fucking turducken, and everybody's taking turns. Like farm hippie people making these insane meals. And I'm like, Mom, Ronan is not my colleague. He's my boyfriend, you know. And my mom was like, that's cool. And she's like, if you get pregnant, our lives are ruined. And I'm like, I'm closing the computer. You know, like, you're not gonna yell at Ronan through the screen like that. And then when we finally separated, we were only together for a couple of years, but my mom was like, I think I was too hard on Ronan, you know, and maybe I'm the reason that you guys broke up. And I was like, now you're gonna be like super nice. So, you know, child of immigrant, run any children out there who are like scared of your parents, just let them do their feelings at you, you know, and then they will also shift, hopefully, and be like, I actually really like your boyfriend that I terrified the first time that I met him, you know. So yeah, I am dating right now. I'd be going on dates, and I'm like, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much. No, I'm okay. I don't want. I'm okay. I don't want to make out. And then sometimes I'm like, yeah, let's make out. Let's keep this going. You know, it's. What about you guys? Are you in
well, let me
relationships?
ask you, what's your type? Do you like to date people who are also in the art scene like yourself, or do you want someone who's out of it, who you can kind of bounce ideas off of? Or is it better to have someone who understands what the mindset of an entertainer is like?
I like people that I'm like attracted to. If that make you know what I mean. Like I've dated some girls. I've gone on some girl dates, and let me tell you, boo. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Boobs?
Boobs. I do get excited about boobs. Doesn't everybody?
Boobies.
I just saw this that scary Sydney Sweeney movie. You know what I'm talking about
With her boobs.
I don't know. I was just like,
they all have her boobs. Housemaid with Amanda. Have you heard of it? It's in theaters right now. That's where I was. I was at the movie theater, just chilling. Oh my god, I'm so sorry that I was late. I know you guys don't know, but I thought I was on time. Anyway, and her boobs are in it, and I went with a comedian friend of mine. I went with a comedian friend. I was like, yes, let's go. You know? It's just fun to be excited about bodies. You know what I mean? So
you're not
in
wrong.
terms of my type, you know, broke dick is for your 20s. That's fine. Do it when it doesn't matter. But when you're my age, no, you don't want to be like dating anyone that's like taking the bus. Like, are you gonna take the bus and meet me at the date? You know, you need to have some abundance. You need to have some security. I mean, I am kind of Coogan, so these kids. You know, I'm in my cougar era, so it's like the kids are taking the bus. What can I attract what I attract? You know, when you like somebody, I do feel like it's so rare to actually like somebody. I feel like you can think people are cute and attractive, and but then when you actually like, you know, you've had crushes where then you see them doing karaoke or something, and you're like, crush over. Oh, that's so mean. That's so mean.
I just saw them singing Britney Spears.
Okay, it was at an open mic. I would never. And you cannot bomb at karaoke. I don't want to ever speak badly of karaoke. I actually don't like people. I don't like people that don't do karaoke. That's my type. I don't like people that are gonna make a big deal about it and be like, oh no, I'm not me sing. I'm like, what else? What else are you going to be like? No, this is outside my comfort zone. You know, like you have to be willing to be silly and vulnerable and show up and be like, this is not a big deal. You know, in the distribution of fucks, I don't have to give all my fucks to like not doing karaoke and make a huge deal of it. You know, that I've had personal experience with for sure. I'm like, well, then just go, get out of here, go home. You're making it weird. You know what I mean?
And I think it's fun too as a comedian to do karaoke. I think like, you know, you really kind of, we were just saying earlier that I think a lot of comedians want to be rock stars and a lot of rock stars want to be comedians.
Yeah.
And you really see that when you see comics going up and doing karaoke. But that's a good standard to have for yourself of like, if you have someone you're interested in, but they're not vulnerable enough to get silly and go sing Barbra Streisand or whatever it may be, then, you know, who's to say they're not going to be interested in showing affection in public or cleaning a shitty diaper or whatever it may be. There's some vulnerability.
That was a big jump from PDA to bothering. Bother. Are you a dad, Jack?
I'm a dog dad.
So you've changed diapers.
I mean,
basically, you've picked up shit with your hands
twice a day. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so much.
Sometimes 3. Yeah.
It's so much.
And he's got that dog in him.
I got that dog in me.
You got what kind of dog?
I got a Boston Terrier.
Oh my god, cute little mutant ass dog.
Yeah, her name's Harpo. She's named after Oprah
Oprah?
Studios. Yeah.
She's named after Oprah. I love Oprah.
Yeah. I was on Oprah when I was a kid, so that was my first exposure to lights, camera, action. So
Cue the tape. No.
There we go.
You get a dog, and you get a dog.
You got your dog on Oprah? I love that.
No, I was a kid.
That's what we're going with. That's the pitch.
Yes,
Oprah
Ann.
gave me the dog. It was my make-a-wish. And
Oh
here
my
I
god!
am.
And you
I
survived, and
I
Oprah's
survived.
pissed.
Yeah.
Oprah's like,
She's
give
like,
me the dog back.
I'm gonna need the dog back. Yeah, we're gonna. The whole Weinstein thing didn't work out. You're gonna have to send that dog back. Sorry.
That's so funny.
I hope that. Never mind. The Queen is always the queen of my. I don't want to get into politics.
You mean Queen Oprah or Queen
Oprah.
Harpo?
Queen Oprah.
Queen Oprah.
She's the Queen of Chicago.
You love her.
I love Oprah.
That's so funny that you love Oprah.
I really do.
Like
I really,
you see
really
her,
do.
you're not like she's evil billionaire.
Well,
I think that she
right.
started those fires in Maui.
Right.
Why was she suddenly there with those
Right.
pillows? Look, I don't actually necessarily believe that, but I am again open to believing. I love theorizing. I love connecting dots.
have you read into the blue roof theory?
Oh, break it down for me, brother.
Blue roof theory. It goes into the controlled. Here I go with the conspiracy. It's
Sorry, chat.
Sorry, chat. Here we go. It's the idea that it's controlled demolition, and a lot of people were saying that.
Oh, like
it was-
9/11.
Yeah, I mean, if
Whoa, his voice cracked on that one, y'all. He's like,
we're just speculating here. If I go missing tomorrow,
Hypothetical.
we're just hypothetical. And that's, I think, the thing about conspiracies is that it's like it's cool to talk hypotheticals because like it might very well be true. You really never know until like way later. And like look at like the Epstein files now. These were a lot of things that people were speculating and conspiring.
I know, and now we
on.
know, and we're like not surprised at all. We're
Right.
like, shocking evidence. It's like, I mean, I'm not shocked. Are you shocked? I'm not shocked.
Right. But now the blue roof conspiracy.
Let's break it down.
They were saying that it is a controlled demolition, and they were saying that like Hawaii and LA were like a part of this. Shocker. And they're saying that a lot of places that had blue roofs or like a blue car, blue umbrellas, they weren't burnt on the ground. And when you look into it further, when you shoot different lasers at things, like I've worked enough in entertainment in Chicago to see like lasers like burn holes in walls because like these lasers they shoot out at shows. Imagine that like times 1,000. But when you hold it up to a color spectrum, all of the other colors will ignite except for the color blue because it's kind of like a cool neutral
So that's
color.
what they used. Color lasers.
So what they're saying is, well, essentially, but if you had a house that had a blue roof, your house was saved. And if you look at all the wreckage in a lot of these wildfires, and again, it's just a conspiracy. I'm not
Everybody
saying it's
is
true.
painting their roofs blue right now. Is
But
it
they
roof
are.
or ceiling? It's got to be roof.
No, it's the roof. It's the roof of the house. But
I'm
if you,
an idiot.
If you
I was
go
like, I'm
to,
going to paint my ceiling blue right now.
But if you go to a lot of these places that are prone to these fires, you'll notice a lot of these millionaires are now painting their roofs blue. Dun dun dun.
Like your queen?
Like my Queen Oprah.
All her roofs are blue.
Maybe. I don't know. I've never, I mean, I did meet her, but I don't know. I don't know her now enough to know about her roofs.
You don't got her number on?
Not anymore, man. I wish.
Let's call her on FaceTime real quick.
Yeah, I wish. I was intimidated when I met Oprah, though.
Yeah, you were just a little baby boy.
I was a baby. It was like right before 9/11 happened. And I was just like, I was maybe second or third grade. And yeah, I just remember like so intimidated. Like I was like, that's the Queen of Chicago. She wanted to like take a photo with our family. And I was so intimidated.
That's
I
so
didn't go up and take a
cool.
photo. Yeah, she's very, and that was like her in like her heyday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
That's like
that
meeting
was
Michael
cool.
Jordan.
Right. Another legend. Yeah.
I mean, I still, I have a bit where I reference him, where I talk about it only matters that you're from the suburbs to when you're in this country. Nobody cares if you're from Chicago or fucking Rockford or whatever. When you're outside
Right.
the country, they're like Chicago, Michael Jordan place.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, yeah, he's my neighbor. Like I run into him in the store all the time. I love telling people that in other countries. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, we see him walking around. He's so cool. I
But
want
that's
people
like
to
that
believe
association, though. They're like, "Oh, Michael Jordan or Al Capone." I did that when I visited Mexico. People would be, "Where are you from?"
Would they
Chicago.
go, oh, Chicago, bang, 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 bang. Everybody says that, bang,
Chirac,
bang,
yeah.
bang, bang. And
But
then,
I would say Casa de Miguel Jordan, and they'd be like, "Ah, okay."
Casa de Miguel Jordan.
And they were like, "Okay,
he's
no, I know."
multilingual, Jack.
I'm not that much
Jack
of an
of all
uncultured
trades.
swine. Hey,
Miguel Jordan. I've never heard that.
Miguel Jordan. You know, I actually visited Michael Jordan's Highland Park house. I did that recently.
Were all
That
the
was kinda
ceilings really high?
They were blue.
And the roofs
no.
were blue.
The roofs
and
were
the
blue.
roof was blue.
No, they were really high ceilings. But what was cool about it was I have some friends that work at the Highland Park Art Institute out there, the art center, and they won these tickets in a raffle to like go into the house. And it was the house that they built in like the mid 90s. I want to say it was like 92, 93. They like opened up the house. So when you walk through, it's all like retro 90s. You see the carpeting and it's like, whoa, I feel like I'm in like Space Jam again. But it was such a cool house. But that house stood vacant for like, I want to say like 15 years or something. And I would always talk about it on my bus tours, talk about the house, how it's up for sale. And it was so cool because, you know, I really do believe in, you know, oh shit, what's the word I'm looking for? Not self-fulfilling prophecies, but like when you open things up to the universe, things will kind of come into
Like
your
karma.
world. Like karma, yeah. Karma or
Like manifesting.
Manifesting, that's the word I'm looking for. I kind of manifested that, and then getting into the house, I was like, whoa, I've been talking about this house for
And now I'm
6 years.
here.
And I'm here. It was cool. He had some really cool
What is it
furniture.
now?
Right now, a guy bought it, and
Fucking guy.
some guy.
Some
Some
guy.
fucking guy.
Fuck that guy.
No, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's giving me some work opportunities. He's a good guy. It's so right now they're kind of opening it up to kind of see what they can do with it because it is in an area where it's like mostly residential. They can't necessarily turn it into like an
A
Elvis
museum,
Graceland
or
type
like a
deal.
heritage house or something.
Right. So what and it's such a cool house that like they really should do something like that and just like get his memorabilia, get his shoes in there and really talk about it. Because what was cool about the house though, and going back to, you know, what you're asking about certain buildings, this was totally one that I would always talk about because they did breakfast at Michael's there. Breakfast at Miguel's.
At Miguel Jordan.
Miguel
That's how you know.
Jordan's.
That's how you know.
And what they would do is they'd invite the entire basketball team over. They would practice on his full-size basketball court. His personal chef would cook them breakfast, and they called it Breakfast at Michael's. And that's what helped them win all those championships. So, like, there's some magic behind that building. And when he took that time off in between the 94-95 season where the Bulls did not win those 2 years in the 2-3 peats, Miguel Jordan was away from the NBA for a couple reasons. I don't want to speculate too much about it. But during that time, he was like still competing in his own personal gym. And like, you know, this is around the time they were shooting Space Jam and everything. So there's just a lot of cool, just like energy in that building. You feel it. And when you go on the basketball court, you just airball it every time because you think you can fly, but then you're like, gravity.
Because you're not Miguel Jordan.
Because you're not Miguel Jordan.
En la casa de Miguel Jordan.
En la casa de Miguel Jordan.
That's how you know. That's how you know.
That's how you know.
Breakfast.
Does you know?
But
Some boy meal
were you guys? Are you sports boys? Are you sportsmen? Sports.
I'm a sports
ball?
guy. I
You're
do
a sports guy?
sports ball.
So you were. I mean, because I'm a fair weather fan.
Yeah.
I like when the weather is nice, and I like when the Bears don't suck. So I was like I was in public. I was at a bar when that Rams game happened, and I mean that was crazy to be in that collective consciousness, even if just like everyone just like looking at the floor or a wall, you know, and like being sad, like men crying in public, just like what the fuck, you know. And now that we're talking about this bull stuff, because I would have been like 10, 11, 12 when all the Incredibles, Unstoppables, Unbelievables was happening. And I remember the aunties, you know, like my mom and all her friends being like so emotionally invested, like doing like having pictures of the bulls like on our little at-home temples, you know, and like asking for blessing from like the Hindu priest and like doing puja for my. And I remember being such a hater because I'm like, you guys are like not even from here, you know, like why do you don't even know what basketball is? You can't play basketball, and it's like to be part of the collective consciousness that sport like that can bring people together. It's so funny to have been such a hater ass bitch and then be like such a loser fair weather fan, you know, as an adult, and like totally get it, you know, where it was like, oh my god, could you believe that overtime? Fuck the pet. My mom texting me like, did you see the guy with the cheese grater? That was hilarious, you know. It was really interesting being part of someplace with such strong cultural identity as a kid and like hating it growing up here, hating the winter and being like, look at us, we're not supposed to be outside in this kind of way. Fuck the Bulls, who cares? You don't even know how to play basketball. And now to like get it, you know, all those years later where it's like, it's just exciting. Did you care, Jay, about the Bears, or you're like, I don't care?
Ish, not really.
Yeah.
Only until it was over. I heard about it, but then not really.
Oh no, it was exciting. What's happening?
Sorry, we're just out of focus there.
Oh.
Pulling it in.
What was so exciting about that game? They won in like overtime or they lost in overtime?
The Bears?
Yeah.
All the games were exciting.
Yeah.
Like all the games were like nothing's happening, and then suddenly in the end of the game, everything's happening, and suddenly it's like 30 points.
But did
from
they
like
win?
4 points. Well, the one against the Packers, they were like, it was like
Super Bowl's
sad.
next week. No, they're out.
The first round of the playoffs, they won though, right? They made it to the second game on the
believe
bracket.
so. Yeah.
Oh my God. And I like, it's like something to talk to my dad about, so we're like doing the bracket together, and I'm like the eldest son because I'm one of 2 daughters, and he's like doing his predictions, and it's like not fun. It's very intense, and statistics we're talking about now, where I'm like, I'm not actually a boy, I'm a girl, but I'm just reaching my limit. And so I know that in the first round they went up against the Packers, right? And in overtime they beat the Packers. And
That's really the only game that counts.
that's really the only game that counts.
Right.
Exactly. And then in the
That's
second
Chicago's
round,
Super Bowl.
they went up against the Rams, and we hate them because nobody in LA cares about football. They don't need it. They got
But
the
we
ocean.
lost.
And we lost in overtime. In overtime. And it was sad because it was like really snowing out. So everybody was like, we definitely are going to win this one because the Rams.
This is Bears weather.
This is Bears weather. This is Bears weather.
This is that lake effect they're always talking about.
These LA fucks are going to freeze their little titties off. And their titties were not frozen off, and they
Goddamn
won.
bastards.
It was sad, yeah.
I never get my hopes up about the Bears, It's just that one disappointing like family member where you're like, are they actually going to get it together this year? And they're like, nah, they just fucked up again and again.
But now hopefully it'll be exciting for a little while because there's the offensive strategist or whatever. What do you call it? Like the coach was
offensive lineman,
the coach guy.
offensive coordinator.
Yes, offensive coordinator, strategist, the offensive strategist, the offensive strategery guy. That fucking guy. That guy. He was taken from a different team. So when you get into like the drama of it, you're like, oh, these boys. So it's a very heated rivalry.
So it's not so much for the sport; it's more for
hope
like
they
the
kiss.
soap opera.
Have you guys watched? It's for the soap opera. It's for the soap opera. Have you watched Heated Rivalry yet, Jay?
What's that?
Heated rival. I've been wanting to watch it.
Get out.
It's a gay hockey movie.
A gay hockey
It's
movie.
a
Show.
gay hockey movie. I grew up playing hockey. I really love hockey, and I'm like hesitant to watch
Jack,
it.
I'm confident by end of episode 3 we'll be like in tears.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, I'm so happy for them, bro. And Jay, I don't know, maybe you're.
Do you have
more
to
of
be
a
gay to
hater.
play hockey?
Yeah,
Hey, watch it.
clearly.
Just because I know how to work a stick, all right?
That's why they got to be on the ice, cool those boners down.
There you
know?
go.
Otherwise, it's just too hot.
Why do you
Can't
think
be
we hug
visible.
each other after every goal? We hug each other. We tap helmets like we're kissing.
Is it
All
like,
that talking shit, it's sexual tension.
It's all sexual tension.
it's like when you kick a girl when you like have a crush on her in elementary school or something.
A little bit, like you throwing rocks at each other, kind of. I don't know. Hockey's a funny sport. There's a lot of weird like nuances about hockey. Have you been hearing about this thing? Girls are calling hockey games boy aquariums.
Boy
now?
aquarium.
Yeah,
I love this. I love this.
I like
fad.
that.
I think it's great. I think there should be more of that.
what are those comics that I called that I showed the You Kick My Dog show? I call them Pussy Boys. I was like, I'm here with these little pussy boys, and they both because I was the last one on the show, and they were like opener feature. And I'm like, I'm here with these little pussy boys. And they looked at each other and high-fived. And they're like, yeah, we're pussy boys. Like, I want that to be part of my fan base, like
Pussy boy.
You can put that on a
where
shirt.
my pussy boys at? Yeah, it's like a gender identity, And then there's girl boss boy. That's different. That's when you're like a girl boss, but you're a boy.
Girl boss boy.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes in the morning, I wake up feeling a little girly pop, so I'll put on like some chaperone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're like, I will slay this day. I am a girl boss boy.
Boy.
He gets it.
I get
There
it
you
now.
Once you watch Heated Rivalry, you'll be like, I get it.
I'll understand.
It's funny because it's a cultural phenomenon,
Yeah.
like Game of Thrones or whatever, where either you are caught up in it and you're like, this is amazing, or you're like, I don't know, or like Harry Potter. I never cared about Harry Potter, but there's a whole world of Harry Potter that people go to. I'm not going. I would be like, this is fucking transphobic, or and like I'd be like, I hate this. I don't care about this.
Witchcraft.
I like witchcraft. I like witches. I'm pro witch, but not that turf. J.K. Rowling. No, who knew that she was a turf when she first wrote the books. But it was also just something that my sister was into, and I was like, okay, I don't want to take that away from her. We were kids when it was happening. And Heated Rivalry is so fun because I guess I really have yet to experience anyone who's seen it who was like, I didn't like it, which is also exciting. Like people watch it, they're like, oh my God. So that's fun. It's like sports.
Is it a show or a movie?
It's a show.
So
it's a 6, and it's like it's like part of a very niche like smut hockey books. Where like cliterature. Are you familiar with cliterature? It's like a multi-billion-dollar industry.
No, but I'm definitely gonna look into cliterature.
Yeah, you should write one, Jay. You could write one and release it.
Where can I find cliterature in the Dewey Decimal System? I'm trying to find the cliterature.
Well, it'd be the fiction. So what's that, like the 800s or something? And then
on the top shelf.
Something, yeah, on the top shelf.
Unfortunately, I can't reach.
You gotta pop under the hood. I don't know.
Uppies.
I need uppies.
Yeah, to get up there to the. It was a novel that was then turned into a show, and it was just pitched to be like on this small streaming service. But then it was getting such a huge response that then HBO picked it up, and now boom, it's like the most watched show in the world. Or something. It's crazy.
And a lot more hockey fans are coming from it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
All these people are like, I got to get to the boy aquarium.
Yeah.
When do they kiss?
Right?
Oh my God.
And there's like no out. It's also a very cool story because it speaks to, we live in a time where it's like, people are gay, who cares? The alphabet people, the LGBT, ABCD people, and
USB.
No, very much people are still deeply closeted, and it's still the patriarchy. Have you guys heard about the patriarchy?
I've seen Barbie.
You've seen? Are you a Ken?
No, I am Knuff, but I am not a Ken.
You're Knuff?
I'm what was the other one's name?
I don't remember the other one.
I'm Michael Cera.
Oh yeah, what was his name? Something like that. Yeah,
that was.
Know. I didn't love the Barbie movie. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I see myself more as a Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got the hair for it.
Girl boss boy.
Yeah, you're a girl boss boy.
There you go.
Yeah. And you're multifaceted. You can dress up in an astronaut costume. You'd be an astronaut for the day.
I love astronauts.
You love getting high, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
So Sonal, tell us a little bit more about your comedy in Chicago. Are there some places in Chicago you prefer to perform at? What are some of your highlights of your career thus far?
I like working wherever books me, and I think that for me personally, Lincoln Lodge is like the best hang spot for me. Whether or not I'm on a show, I still like going. I feel like the culture at Laugh Factory right now is very, if I'm there and I'm not on a show, it's like, are you on the show? Are you on the show? Are you on the show? It's like, no, I'm here to support each other. You know what I mean? And Zanies, I like going to Zanies. Zanies has had some amazing lineups coming through. I just did Zanies on Tuesday and it was super fun. Very, very fun show. And Lincoln Lodge is more of like the DIY space where there's no drink minimum, which I think creates like a different point of access. Obviously you want to curate the type of people that can spend money on a comedy show to come out and buy tickets and stuff. There you shift from doing free productions to ticketed shows, and you shift from in the beginning where you're like, I just need to get people that I know and they don't necessarily have a lot of money to come out and support and build the name, and then you get to the point where you're like doing shows and you're like, I don't know a single person in this audience, and that's awesome because I'm like building now audience, and people getting to know you. And I think before the pandemic, it was much more like we're doing stand-up comedy shows here in the Q4 space, if I remember correctly. Did we ever do a comedy show here? I think so. And like in barbershops and, just moving wherever in cafes, restaurants, wherever you can pack in a bunch of chairs and a little spotlight. And if you want to put on a comedy show, viewers, you can do it. You can use like a karaoke machine or whatever, just anything. I think a mic and a amp is really important. You don't want to be doing like theater in the basement. It really makes a difference to be holding a mic, and then some sort of way to focus the attention. There's a lot of poorly lit comedy shows, and then the energy kind of disperses. So you just need, it's interesting after so many years of being in it and having produced so many shows. I produced a show called Top Shelf Comedy. That is a ticketed show. That's the first Saturday of every month. So that's this Saturday at 10 o'clock in the Lincoln Lodge. And tickets are available in my bio on my Instagram, Sonal Media, on all social medias. And then I do a free show the second Sundays of the month at the Nighthawk. You guys know the Nighthawk? That's like end of the Brown line. A lot of old Q4 heads from like the original Q4, from the old people. Q4 people are now either at the Nighthawk doing something, or do you guys know David Chavez? He's like one of the DK guys. Yeah, you know David. Yeah. He's like pretty much, he's the mayor of Chicago for me. No, he's running the Nighthawk. He's running the Nighthawk. So we do a free show there, which is very different, because then it's like you got to get donations, and we take a little cut of the bar, and there's never any guarantee on what's happening. And and to be honest, I almost feel like I'm outgrowing the space in terms of what a Sunday night on. There's only 4 Sundays in a month or whatever. What those the value of a Sunday to me, which is very, very interesting to be like, just to have guaranteed stage time. But now it's like, is it really worth my time to be doing a DIY donation based show where we have to put so much work into it for the love, and I love the love, but I also love like getting paid, and like planning more weekends out of town. And I'm very much in the beginning stages of like just learning how to tour and stuff, all very daunting. The actual performing on stage is very much the tip of the iceberg, and the whole thing about the rest of the iceberg is that you can't perceive it until you are building your own iceberg, if that's the metaphor that we're going with.
Right.
I like the Lincoln Lodge. I was there a few weeks ago, and I got a little bit too drunk, and I don't want to say I got kicked out, but like I started I started heckling one of the comedians out of like being stupid.
Oh, no.
And I never got kicked out, but I felt the vibes were kind of like, hey man, get the fuck out of here. So I just like silently got up and left. But
what show was it?
It was.
Don't do that. I'm trying to work with these guys.
It was a few weeks ago. Like I forgot who. Like I got like free tickets or whatever. And then I went to go see that comedian in the free like ticket section. But my boy Kevin, he got me into like the ticketed section for free. Shout out Kevin. And by that point, I was already like fucking hammered. So they started saying stuff, and I started shouting things out. And I'm like, I think I probably best if I go.
Yeah, but then you had that self-awareness, which is very different from like an entitled heckler, where like you have people who are like, I've heard a girl like, I wish I could be a professional heckler, and you're like, that's not a thing. So shut up.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad
Shut it down.
the next day, but like, how do you deal with like hecklers at your show? Do you like do crowd work at all, or?
Oh my God, I am so the one. When they're like, I am not the one, I'm like, I am the one.
Oh, I'm the one.
I am the one. You want. Like, I actually got it. Have you guys ever been in a fight? Oh, really? Jay, oh my God. He seems so nice and like a sweet girl boss boy, but he's also a bad boy.
Don't fuck with me, bro.
Don't fuck with him. Yeah. How many fights have you been in?
Oh, man. All throughout high school.
That's okay. Beyond, high school is different. That's like a fucking mosh pit.
I don't know. I went to Schurz High School, so everybody was like pretty ghetto and gangster, and
that's like, that's like a hazing period.
Like,
but as an adult,
a couple of times after I turned 21, I got also drunk, and I ended up getting a couple bar fights.
That's so funny. No, me not, because I was on stage in. What about you, Jack? Are you?
Yeah, I'm from the South Side. I had to get tough or fucking die.
You are from Shameless. That was your.
Basically, I met Jeremy Allen White at a bar one time. He's like, "I'm from Shameless." I go, "I've never seen the show. I lived it, bro." And he goes, "You have no idea who I am?" I go, "Not a clue." And he's like, "This is great. You're just a random dude at a bar. I can have a normal conversation."
Which is actually so on brand for the show, for you to be like one of the guys that, if you were in the show, to be like, I don't know what this is. I mean, right? I'm from the suburbs, so I've only ever been in like girl fights or whatever, and I've been like there's a fight happening, and I've like walked through like mob kind of activity in India, and it's been like, hurry, get the fuck out of here, so that you don't get whacked by like a. I've been around violence, but I was on stage at a very small show called Funhouse Comedy. Shout out Gabe and Samir, and nobody was filming, and it was like in this little train car that they do a comedy show in. Is that right? Is it a train car? I feel like that's right. And there was this woman, and she was heckling, and she had one of those like little battery powered dogs, you know, it was like, and he wasn't really barking, but he was just with her, you know, and she was heckling so bad. It was like, how y'all doing tonight? And she's like, I'm doing okay, you know, it's been a rough week. And it's just like, oh no, you know, like that's just a rhetorical question that's not being directed at any one person. And the comic before me was very elegant, and he said he had a bit about like what's the age of, or like how much time do you do for this kind of crime? And she's like, I think it's like 2.5 years. She just had a very specific answer, and he was so cool about it. You know, he was just like, wow, that's a really specific answer. I wasn't expecting that. You know, he wasn't like, excuse me, lady, shut the fuck up. I'm up here doing it. Because the hosts were kind of like that. The hosts were like, no, that is not happening. You shut the fuck up. The one was Gabe. It's like good cop, bad cop, you know. And Samir was like, all right, this lady's talking, you know, and don't do that when the comics come up. And then I got on stage, and I was like, I said something, and she started answering, and I go, no, that's not what we're doing. You need to shut the fuck up. People are at work right now. Shut up, you know. And then she's like, she's quiet for a second, and she's like making noise, and I'm trying to do a bit, and I'm like, you are like the human equivalent of a plastic bag to life. You're like a plastic bag in a movie theater. Oh no! And then I try to turn it around on myself. I go, what are you? Me in the movie theater? I get it. Me too. I'm loud, but I know when to shut the fuck up. What you need to do. And then she like got up, and I tried to, you know, you never want to lose the audience. You know what I mean? Like you don't want the audience to be like, you know, you want the audience to be like, she's mad in a funny way, you know. And then she gets up, and I go, hey, she's got one of those fucking dogs. and she's like, yeah, well, you know. And I go, you know, people ask me if I'm a dog person or a cat person. To me, they all taste like chicken. I'm just talking shit. It's like road rage. And she turns around, and she's like, you can talk shit to me, but don't you dare talk shit about my dog, you know. And I go, I'll put that fucking dog in a nori roll, and I'll eat him. And I go like that, and she charges me on stage. Like she like comes at me on stage, and I feel myself square up, which is hilarious because I've only ever seen fights or like seen them in movies, you know. I've never actually, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like ready, my stance is ready, but then all I could think was like my own voice when I see other people in fights being like, kiss, kiss, kiss. So then when she actually got on stage, I just went to kiss her. I was like, and in that same moment, she was being pulled off stage by like two people from the, there was like 8 people in the audience, and 2 people just like kind of grabbed her. This one, we have security footage. Maybe one day I'll release the security footage. It's really hilarious where you can see this guy like take her like, no, and like start to scold her, and this tiny woman is like, are you okay? Up to me, and I'm like, whoa, you're a badass. I want you on my side. And then she got kicked out of the venue, and I was like kind of talking shit. I was like, no. And then I was like the hero of the night. The owners came and thanked me. They were like, she's in here all the time being so fucking annoying, and now we have a reason to like ban her from the venue. And I'm like, see, violence is a solution. Sometimes if you do jokey violence with kisses, you know. And I mean, like, yeah, you have to address heckling, you know. It's sad when I'm not trying to be like a comedian destroys heckler person online, you know, but it was like I wasn't recording, and everybody's like, you didn't get the clip.
Oh no.
And I'm like, no, I didn't get the clip. That would have been epic. That would have been the one to get me on fucking Kill Tony or whatever, you know. Not that I want to do that show. They're the reason that we're in this ice mess, really, you know. Joe Rogan and those guys, they put this president in office. That's not a conspiracy. Right. All the numbers are there. And,
it's facts. And
any of it, I feel like, especially after having been in like a motorcycle accident, you know, I'm not. Like one time at the Den, have you guys been to the Den for comedy stuff? There was a drunk brown girl, you know, and I'm not gonna say which kind of brown. I literally almost did, but I don't want to. It doesn't matter.
What kind of brown?
I'll tell you after, Jay. I'll tell you after, and you'll be like, makes sense.
Of
They're
course.
so crazy. And she was just like she was wasted and excited to be there. You know, she's like, Opa! And the comedian on stage was like, what is there, a fucking Greek person with Tourette's in the audience? And like, which was so funny. And then security was like this big white guy I was like, just get her out of here. And he was like, I'm not trained for this. Like a tiny brown woman who's just having too much fun, you know? And he's like, I'm not fucking putting my hands on her. So then I'm not security. I'm just a person on the show. And I went and sat next to her and I'm like, every time you want to talk, just squeeze my hand, you know? And she goes, okay, like at that volume.
That's hilarious.
And I'm like, no, we need to, okay, let's go backstage. And she's like, really? And I'm like, no, not like you're getting special access. Like, that's how I am kicking you out. We're going through, and I had to take her out to the alley. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't think that you're allowed back inside. And she's like, that's okay. I'm having such a great time talking to you. And I'm like, yeah, me too. And I'm like, I have to go back in though. I'm like hosting, you know. And then she wrote an email the next day and was like, I'm so sorry. I followed you on Instagram. I'll come. I'll behave at a future show. You know, and the venue is, again, very happy with me. So if you have hecklers in your midst, bring me in. I'm a good security person.
Yeah.
I solve all my violence with kisses.
There you go.
You know, your material online is so funny because you do see a lot of your crowd work. Like you do a lot of crowd work. I'd say maybe more than the average comic. You know, is that something you strived for when you first got into it, finding your comedic voice? Or did you have these run-ins with these people and you're like, man, this material is just writing itself right now?
You know, that's, I think, something that happens with comedians if they'll get kind of disappointed if they're like, oh my God, my crowd work hit so hard and then the material wasn't necessarily hitting, you know. And like I just think that you just have to tune yourself to different experiences, you know, in different contexts. Like I was doing a Veterans Legion Center or whatever. Does those words make sense together? Like
I know some of those
so.
words.
The Legion in like Cicero. Very brown show,
VFW types,
like a VFW
okay
type of thing, you know, and like they're like adults, you know what I mean? And like I'm doing like some of my jokes as not really hitting, and then one guy at one point like got up to like take his shirt off or something. Like it was getting really wild at points, and I was like, oh, fucking Magic Mike Miguel Mágico. That's what I said. Speaking of Miguel's,
yeah.
and they went fucking crazy. You know, they were like, Miguel Mágico, you know. And then I was like, okay. Then I was just like, what would your stripper name be? You know, like Papi Caliente or something. You know. And then the one's like, mine would be Sirloin. You know. I was like, that's amazing. Because he's like, because I'm a hot piece of meat. And then you're just hosting in a sense, you know, where you're like responding. And I always try to be uplifting. I don't like look at this fucking idiot, you know. I'm like, oh, look, it's an idiot. You know, right. Like, yay, we're all idiots. You know what I mean? So I do think that it's funny because then like I'll write based on a crowd work experience and because you want to be prepared for anything that could happen. And you're like, if that ever happens again, that I'm doing this joke and suddenly a Persian man comes out of the audience and says this random thing, I'll be ready to respond in a way that, you know. So you do have stuff where there's a lot of crowd work that sounds like crowd work, but is definitely actually bits that comedians have said before and just make it look like magic, you know. Or even in bits, I was working with this guy, Mike Lester, amazing comedian from Minneapolis, actually. And he was just in Chicago. And I'm like, you must be so excited to get out of Minneapolis. And he's like, I'm actually really excited to get back because the anti-ICE organization is like so organized, you know. And I'm like, oh, good. He's a big white man, you know. And he was saying stuff like, my big white body needs to protect black and brown bodies. I was like, oh my God, we appreciate you so much, dude. But he has this long bit where he'll be like, anyway, what was I saying? And because I worked with him for a couple of shows, I thought that was real, like a real pause in his thoughts, you know. And he's like, I'm like, that's so cool. He lost track of what he's saying and now he brought it back. And then I was like, oh, that's part of the bit, you know. And you start to see where it's a performance also. You know, like your character can be the same on and off stage, but there are bits where it like looks like a magic trick, you know, and then you see behind the curtain and you're like, I know exactly how he had that card up his sleeve or whatever.
It's like a Batman utility belt.
Yeah.
You're ready for it when that joke comes in. You know.
That's Spider-Man.
Now, what do you think is maybe the most Chicago moment you've ever had while performing stand-up? Maybe when it came into crowd interaction.
Like somebody threw a tamale and a hot dog on stage at the same time or something, and then I cop out with like a hot dog in both hands.
Have you ever been interrupted by the tamale guy?
Oh yeah, have we all been interrupted by the tamale guy, Claudio?
Yep.
I have his number saved in my phone. I have T-shirts.
You're not a stand-up unless you've been interrupted by Claudio, the tamale guy.
Yeah, or you haven't done the Coles mic. If you haven't been like in the middle of a joke, and then, tamales, oye, ¿quién quiere tamales? That's very Chicago. Or that you're like waiting for Claudio, and there's some guy pretending to be his brother.
What?
Where I was like, I bought tamales off your brother, and Claudio was like, I don't have a fucking brother. I'm like, that's so funny.
Oh, I'm gonna go around pretending to be Claudio's brother.
Selling fucking bootleg tamales.
Fucking bootleg tamales.
You know, shitty ass tamales. No, that'd be funny. That would just increase his business though. Like really good tamales, you just sell really good tamales. I opened for a comedian named Alok at the Vic, and that was a very Chicago moment because, you know, I had to be there early for my call time, and it's a dream to work in that venue for anybody, you know. And the night manager's name was Mike, and he was like,
Miguel.
that sound engineer, his name's also Mike, you know. And then the guy he's also Mike, and I'm like, lot of Mikes. And like, have you ever seen that video of like the is it Mike's Furniture on Milwaukee, where there's like 3 Mike's Furniture store? There's some name of furniture store. I think it is Mike's Furniture. Is it okay?
Is that with the little clay guy who wears yellow?
The little clay guy that wears yellow? Is that like his mascot?
I think so. Mike's Furniture. It's like a little bald clay guy.
There's a Mike's Furniture next to another. You have to look up this video because it's a bunch of Mike's Furnitures right next to each other, and I'm like, do you guys own
Jamie,
the
look it
furniture
up.
stores down on Milwaukee, you know, stuff like that. That's very Chicago.
Yeah. Now, you've been in comedy for quite some time. Do you ever get recognized outside of comedy clubs? You're just going about your everyday?
Yeah, I mean, in Chicago for sure. You know, like I was just at I can't remember his name. I'm really bad with names. It's devastating. It's not like it's a choice when people are like, "Oh my god, you don't remember my name." I'm like, "Do you think I'm choosing this? Do you think I'm choosing this discomfort right now? Just being like, no, I tickled your dad. I should remember you. That's crazy." But I don't remember his name. Somebody that works at Little Goat Diner. Does that sound familiar? In Southport?
Little goat diner.
There's
Girl in the Goat. There's Girl in the Goat, and then that same chef owns a little spot called like Little Goat Diner. And then I like made eye contact with one of the servers, and we smiled at each other too hard, and it just really confused me. I was like, well, that was weird. You know? I was like, the wait staff is so friendly here. And then he came over and he's like, you're Sonal, right? And I've seen you. I'm so sorry. That was here. Have a cookie. And then he wrote like, thank you for being funny on the cookie. And the person that I was with was like, oh my God, she's a celebrity. You know, that's fun. And I've done a lot of South Asian stuff, like emceeing, you know, weddings or whatever. So I was someplace with my mom at the Allstate Arena seeing Diljit Dosanjh. She's like the first Punjabi guy to like headline Coachella. And he's incredible. And we went to see him, and oh my God, so many adult men crying because the lyrics are like that. And we were in the bathroom, and they were like, "You're so right," and they're like to my mom, like, "She's incredible. She's so funny." And I'm like, my mom's like, "Did you pay them?" And I'm like, "No, you hater. No, I don't know them. That'd be so funny." But like, can you pretend to know me? Here's a $5.
Shit, I'm gonna start doing that now.
Yeah, just maybe before
Here's
you go
$5.
places.
Just pretend you know me real quick.
Be like, wait a second, is that Jay Smooth?
The internet sensation.
You were heckling like crazy at the beginning.
I remember you. You're that annoying kid.
You're that annoying guy that's self-ejected. Good for you, man.
You ruined my set, motherfucker.
God damn it. Oh well.
Bro, where'd you think you were at? A wrestling show?
Kinda. Well, to be fair, the first comedian that I saw was doing a lot of crowd work, so I wasn't necessarily heckling. I was just,
You thought it was a part of it, yeah.
And then when I went to the other room, the person wasn't doing crowd work, but I was like still in the mindset of the first comedian. So.
Are you big into wrestling? You're a big wrestler mania guy?
Somewhat, yeah. A lot.
Because what's his name that wears the plastic bag over his face in Ireland? Do you know what I'm talking about? Not Kneecap. Have you heard of Kneecap? This rapper group that got like the Free Palestine chant going. These are like hardcore revolutionaries in Ireland, and he was on a radio show. I can send you the clip, and he was talking about how that really explains why Donald Trump is in office, because he's bringing so many theatrics from wrestling world into the political arena, from one arena to the other. And I was like, whoa, listening to this, or I was like, this makes a lot of sense.
Linda McMahon, she's the head of the Board of Education right now. She was married to Vince McMahon, yeah. It's weird. It's really weird.
And he was also on wrestling for a couple of episodes. Like, they made a whole, like, storyline based off him.
He's in the video game, too. You know that?
Is he?
Yeah, you can wrestle as Donald Trump as the wrestling.
That is hilarious. Yeah. The last game that I played like that was like that Russell Simmons fighting game. Remember? Where you could be like Lil' Kim, or you could be Sean Paul. And then you'd be like on train tracks or in a Thai temple or something. Do you remember? Like the Russell Simmons.
It was kind of like Def Jam, I believe.
It was like a PlayStation game.
Yeah.
It was like Street Fighter, but you could be Sean Paul and you would go Sean Paul.
Somebody give it to him.
And you go like this, and then you could throw people in front of trains and shit. We gotta look that up too. Yeah, Sean Paul.
God, Sean Paul was great. Whatever happened to Sean Paul? Is he still around?
Oh, he's like probably. I hope he's at this Bad Bunny Bowl.
The Benito Bowl.
Benito Bowl. Are you so excited about Benito Bowl?
Yeah. I hear there's gonna be some football around the Benito Bowl.
Yeah, they're
happening.
Gonna do football.
We're talking about the thing with the big commercials, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so excited for Benito. I mean, I've been a Bad Bunny fan for many years. There's like you can get your masters in like studying Bad Bunny lyrics.
Dude, that's fucking wild. In fucking Puerto Rico and colleges, they have like a whole like Bad Bunny class that you can like do.
Damn.
Because he's doing something musically where like he's the most like intergenerational musician, where you have like little kids and old people like getting very emotional about these lyrics. I mean, I get emotional singing that.
Such a beautiful line.
Is that
like, the one song that everybody knows? Because even he was all like, I don't know that one. I only know that one song.
Yeah,
I mean, and that
ready to learn more.
That shit is so relatable. If I see your mom, I'm gonna ask her if you've got somebody that cares about you in the way that I couldn't. And even though I said I don't love you, I do. And it's like got such a, you're just like, hey, but they're like very, very emotional lyrics. So I'm excited about Benito Bowl.
Yeah, it was funny because they were like, let's get somebody like, how like Puerto Rico's part of America. They were like, yeah, let's get somebody from America. And it's like, bro, have you not been to like third grade like geography or whatever the fuck? Like,
it's part of the U.S.
Do you not know it's part of the U.S.?
That's how much
Green Day's also going to perform with them.
Oh, thank God for that.
So that'll be very entertaining. I'm eager to see what's going to happen, because they always try to not get political, but with two artists like that, and given what's going on in the world, I'm eager to hear what the message is going to be.
And then what's the other one that they're doing to combat it, like the fucking All American?
Oh, yeah, we were looking it up earlier. The Turning Point USA is doing their own halftime
with fucking
show.
Kid Rock, bro.
Yeah, with Kid Rock.
What can Green Day and Benito collect? It'll be like basket hat case or something, right? Because that's like the Puerto Rican hat, right? It's like a basket, and then they could Dookie Pookie or something. I probably know most of the lyrics from that album from Green Day. Dookie. That was my era. I was like 12 when that album came out.
Bad Bunny's really had quite the glow up though. And especially in the last 5 years.
Did you see that Calvin Klein commercial?
Did you see him in Happy Gilmore too?
No, I didn't see him in Happy Gilmore too. I mean, I did actually. I think I fast forward through it, and then I was like, oh, that was that. I could not watch Happy. I tried.
Yeah,
I tried.
They jumped the shark.
What does that mean?
It's a Happy Days reference. I sound this is gonna be the whitest thing I've said in the show. Every show I always out honky myself.
Honky yourself.
Jumping the shark comes from.
What's this Craig you're talking about?
Yeah. This Craig ass. Jumping the shark comes from the show Happy Days
with the Fonz.
With the Fonz, yeah. And there was an episode, it was like later on and like the show's running, where the Fonz is like water skiing and he's wearing his leather jacket and he jumps off a ramp and jumps a shark while water skiing. And then everyone is like, really? Like this was not, what Happy Days was all about. So now the term jumping the shark is used when they're like, yeah, they've kind of like jumped what they were originally going for.
Oh, and they've lost the plot. They've
lost the plot is jumping the shark. And they're like, that's not really.
Like season 8 Game of Thrones.
I've never gotten into Game of Thrones.
No, me neither. But it was just like the thing that everyone was watching and was like collectively around. So I was like very big. Unlike Heated Rivalry, that I'm like, oh my God, can we talk about Heated Rivalry? With Game of Thrones, they're like, the guy smashed the guy's head. Who cares? Pretty good RG scene, I guess. Whatever. And then season 8, I don't know if they jumped the shark, but they
jumped the dragon.
They jumped it. It wasn't the original writer of the books anymore. They brought it. He couldn't keep up with the pace of the show, so they brought in TV writers, and it was ass.
And let's not forget about the Starbucks cup that they left in the scene.
Let's never forget. That's so funny because I was watching this housemaid movie with Titty Queen, the Republican Titty. Sydney
Say her name.
Sydney, you're a Lord and Savior. Are you being Sydney Sweeney guy?
It ain't like that. It ain't like
That's
that.
the whitest thing that you're gonna say if you're a big Sydney
Sweeney boobs guy.
Boobs guy, the boobs guy, Sydney Sweeney. Where there was a scene where they're outside the house and they kept cutting, but it's supposed to be the same scene, and the other character had sun on her, and then she was in the shadow. And so I'm like, oh my God, it's really taking me out of the world. the lack of continuity. I'm like, wow, they didn't have enough budget to keep the lighting consistent. How did somebody else not catch this?
They're like, everyone's gonna be staring at her boobs anyway.
Everyone's
They
gonna be
won't
staring at her
notice the
boobs
lighting.
anyway. It's so funny when you're like, how did nobody catch that Starbucks cup? It's crazy.
Yeah. It happens. Stranger Things did that too. Apparently a lot of the kids were
I'm not a Stranger Things person.
Oh, really?
Yuck.
Oh, I like that show. It was good.
I am here for that Lily Allen album, though.
What's that?
I'm obsessed. Okay, so Hopper?
Yeah.
Hopper's real life name is David Harbour. And in real life, he was married to this woman, Lily Allen, who's like this she's kind of like a Kate Bush, where she's this tiny English pop star. And then they got a divorce, and she released an album that she recorded in 10 days, and it's like a revenge album. Ooh. And she just goes in so hard, where you've never heard Pussy Palace, where she's like, I didn't know it was your Pussy Palace, Pussy Palace, I thought it was a dojo, and she, it's like not a diss album, it's like a explosion of vengeance album. And that's fun.
Power to the pussy.
Yeah, big time.
Favorite.
Pussy boys.
Pussy boys.
You are what you eat. I'm sorry, Mom. I would definitely be excited to be called a pussy boy.
Okay, I love that. I gotta get this is maybe that should be my podcast, Pussy Boys.
There you go.
So welcome to
featuring
the Pussy
Jack
Boys.
Dwyer.
We're just some pussy boys. We're just trying to make it. We're some pussy boys.
Finding the pussy girls.
There you go.
Did you guys see Breaking Point? The basketball show with Chet Hanks. I know he's not an island boy, but he kind of is because he does that. You are what you eat. I don't want to forget that. That's fun. That's in the book. It's what's her name? Goldie Hawn's daughter, Kate something. But she's managing a basketball team. And
Russell? Is it Kate Russell? Because she's married to Kurt Russell. Goldie Hawn.
No, but God, she's very famous. She was in Almost Famous. She's the main actor girl. God damn it, Kate. Hudson.
Oh, Kate Hudson. Kate Hudson.
I did it. Good job, Brain. Kate Hudson is in it, and she's managing like the Lakers, but they're called like the Waves or whatever. And it's cute. It's a really cute show. It's on Netflix. It's really fun. I watched it with my dad, and he kept like pausing it to explain the NBA to me. He's like, "Okay, so how the NBA actually works? You know, you can't just watch stuff. It has to be like an academic experience with the professor."
Mansplaining.
He has to. Well, it's just regular explaining because I don't know what he's talking about. Is mansplaining if you're explaining something that we already know? You know, it's
There
like
you go.
like if you were like mansplaining like feminism to me or something, I'd be like, I know what that is. I've
Look
heard
at
of
you
feminism.
women-splaining
Thank
it to
you.
us, yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm woman-splaining, mansplaining. Yeah.
Jesus.
How meta.
Can you
Totally.
explain feminism, Jack? I'm just kidding.
Can I?
No,
I
I'm
don't want to
joking.
get canceled. No. No, I'm a feminist. Power to the ladies. Come on.
Good answer.
Yeah, let them pay on first dates now.
Oh,
Well.
that's so funny though. I did go on a date recently where the guy was like, "How about you pay for the second date?" And my micro reaction was kind of macro, you know, and I was like, well, that's a good way to ensure that there will never be a second date. And I was like, no, I'm not. I mean, let me just put that out there. Like, if I reach the point of abundance or where like it feels natural, where I'm like, I want to spend some of my money on you, like then maybe that day will one day come. But in the beginning stages, and I think this is true for all pussy carriers, you know, whereas like, but yeah, of course, you know, like oh my God, dick is in abundance, you know what I mean? So then it's like what I'm bringing to the table in terms of like vibe and presence, I'm very much where, this is what I was talking about earlier, where I'm like in my dating journey, and you want to be able to say this from a place of like feeling empowered, you know, and not like a narcissist, you know, but it's like, no, you're fucking paying, you know, and it should be a pleasure also, where it's like, no, hell no, I fucking got this. You know, you're the woman. You have to like manage so much. Like what it's like married women die way younger than like single women, right? Do you guys know about these statistics?
Is that true?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think married men die faster.
Than single men? No, married men live way longer than single men.
Do they?
Yeah, because they have the woman making sure that they go to the doctor
And
and
actually,
keeping them alive.
And actually, I heard this thing where when a spouse dies, if the woman dies before the man does like not as good as to where if the man dies before the woman has like more relationships going on in her life than
Not
a
a
man.
feminist at all, Jack.
I'm a poser.
Not even a little bit. He's like, whoa, my God, it must be suck to be married. They die earlier. It's like, what do you think the single men by themselves are doing? They don't even have a reason to bathe.
Yeah.
And y'all don't be washing your legs.
Yeah,
about
you're
that?
right. Guys don't wash their legs
Oh my
or their
God.
feet.
Oh my God, that's
It's just
insane.
gravity. Just water just goes down.
The trickle
Not
down.
that I do
trickle
it.
down
That's
economics.
just what some guys trickle down
God.
economics.
The
Everybody
hygiene
else
thing.
does that, not me.
Yeah, no.
And I really, and it's always so tricky because sometimes you go on a date with somebody and they're like, "Is there anything?" And there's no culture in which you can be like, "You are musty," you know, and like your smell is like something that needs to be addressed. Maybe are you wearing socks from today, or are you know what I mean? Like that it hasn't been that bad as of recently. Definitely in the comedian world. Oh my God, some of these guys are so fucking musty, and you just wonder. I do like celebrate when people smell good. I'm like, oh my God, you smell good. Let's talk about it. Can other people hear this? You want to be told that you smell good. You know, and like you want to think about it. I'm like big into, I smoked for many years. So I was very, very heavy into dental hygiene, you know, like tongue scraping and flossing and brushing your teeth. It's not an optional thing. Brush your fucking teeth.
Oh, it's a good thing I flipped my underwear today.
Yeah. J Smooth. Jeez.
Good old sniff test.
Yo.
Now, when do you think it would be like, acceptable for a woman to do that then? Because we were talking about, you expect the guy to take the bill. What if a guy was to say, we're out for dinner, I'm having a really lovely time. Maybe there's a better way to ask this. Do you want to grab drinks later? Or do you think maybe that because personally, I'm also in a committed relationship, but being single, I'd get so turned on if some girl was like, hey, I'm having a really great time tonight. You got dinner? I'm buying drinks after this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's keep this night going. Guys can't ask. Is that the line?
There's no way for it to be cute. There's no way for it to. I mean, I think it's one of the biggest challenges. Like if I was a guy out here dating, I would have to be making way more money than I am as a creative. I would have to, and then like that is cool when you're out with a guy. I went out with a finance guy recently. Lovely guy. It smelled great, but it's just like if the vibe's not there, the connection's not there. I also think that it's like low-key disrespectful to just like do any hooking up or kissing or anything because you feel like you should. That's ew. Because that's more hurtful later down the line where you're like, I've actually never been attracted to you. I just felt like it would be rude to not.
The inclination
let you
was
hit
there.
it, And but sometimes, when you can be more directed with your horniness too. Like we all make bad decisions in our youth. I mean, and what I guess not everybody, but if you go through a hoe era, then you can just be having fun with it and really have like no care about have no fucks to give, and be like, I don't care. I'm just out here being slut.
Period.
Period. But then like, cause I was going out with this like little fella, cause he was just younger. He was much younger than me, and he was like, "You never offer to pay for anything," and I was like, "Oh, there is like a before this conversation and an after this conversation. Like the vibe has now shifted and." You are such a dumb little bitch to me now. Like you can't really come back from that unless there's like full accountability where it's like, oh my God, I was such a dumb little bitch in that moment, and like, yes, I am the provide. Like I don't.
I was
it's
being
not
a
about,
pussy boy, but I wasn't being your pussy boy.
I wasn't being your pussy. Exactly. That's what I needed to say. I was being a fucking pussy, and I want to be a pussy boy.
I'm ready to be a pussy man.
I want to be.
Man.
I'll never. I can aspire only to be a pussy man. But I mean, unless and you gotta believe in me in the sense that like I will share whatever abundance I have in the forms that I have them. Like I'm a massage therapist. I do Thai massage. I don't really talk about it because it sickens me to talk about it. If anybody even asking me like, what's Thai massage? I'm like, do you know Google.com? I'm like, I don't want to explain things to you, even though I was mansplaining, womansplaining or whatever earlier. There are things I like to explain, but I don't want to feel like I'm trying to sell anybody on anything. Right. So I'm like, and I hate having the, oh my God, I got to book a session with you conversation. Same as we hate the when is your next show conversation. That is so inconsiderate. And it's like a better question is like, how can I be better informed about like, do you have a mailing list or do you post to your stories? I'm going to make more of an effort to stay aware. I'm going to get you in my algorithm. If you're going to be like, I don't really use Instagram, can you tell me when your next show is? It's like, you want me to pull out my fucking calendar? Like, I'm like right here, right now. Now you're taking me out of the fucking now. And I hate that. And I hate that. And same with, the reason I brought up massage is because then it's like, I'm a very giving partner, and like I really give myself fully. So then it's like for you to pay for fucking food is like nothing compared to what like a good partner is bringing to the table, and then like to be invited into my fucking house and then like I cook and we're not going to get there until it's been, and I need abundance of drink tickets. They can be all your drink tickets. I don't care about that, whatever I have to share. But in terms of like, yeah, actually like spending money that comes organically. When it comes organically, and then it's like a turn on for both of us, because it's like, what, I got this round. Let me get it round. So I got, and I was on a first date with a guy and he was paying for stuff, and then I was very eager to. I'm like, we're gonna hit, like this is a hit. So let me get around, and then he was like, no, and very, very gracious about it. And then we hung out for a little while. I think just logistically, I think that when you get to a certain age too, you're just like, I think there are a lot of people in relationships for the wrong reasons, really, just because you're young and you kind of get locked in, and then you're like, I don't know how to get out of this anymore. So it's also cool being this age. And was that?
I said, oh boy.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure. I feel like a lot of people relate to that. I know I've been in dynamics where it's like, well, I'm kind of staying in your place, or we're like, where would I go? Let me just ride this out. And yeah, I don't know if there's really a cute way. Like I'll always get us on guest lists, for example, so the stuff like that where it's like I feel like I have like access to stuff that I then want to share. You have to feel like so lucky to get to access somebody's world, that you should pay for fucking food and drinks. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's a difficult
Got to pay your dues.
conversation. Yeah, and it's a different kind of balance.
You have high standards.
Sure.
You have. I don't want to say high standards. You have good standards.
Yeah,
but that's okay. I think that's important for people to have. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, broke dick is for your 20s. And which is fun because a lot of comedians have like bits about that kind of stuff too, where it'll be like, broke dick is the best dick because they really want to be there. They
got nothing else to offer.
How else is he gonna eat?
They're gonna do the best damn job because we have nothing else to offer, ladies.
I've been dignitized before. Amen, hallelujah. The spell has been broken, and once the spell is broken, you're like, no, never again. Also, I think that like big dick guys can kind of think that that's like a huge. Like I was in the middle of a conversation with somebody recently at a bar, and this guy comes up, he's trying to hit, and he's like, I'm just trying to say I got 9 inches, and I'm like, that is a threat. That is what is like, what do you think? What's the play in your mind?
Right.
That, like mid sentence, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I gotta go. I gotta get to the buffet. All this dick going to waste. Like, what the fuck? I was like, please never call me again. That's so scary.
I know you lead with it because it's that long, but you don't lead your line with that, man.
And you literally are revealing so much that you have nothing else to bring to the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you are a liability. You don't know about social cues, but you do know about your 9 inches. Which maybe if I was in my 20s, I would have been like, I gotta go. It's a meat market with my name on it. It's the whole market.
9 inches, wow!
What a man! It's okay, ladies. I don't have 9 inches.
Which is honestly better, like, I mean, whatever it is, whatever size you're working with, it's that's just one element of what's happening,
Now, we've been joking about pussy boys and dick jokes and all sorts of things. Are there topics in your comedy that you refuse to joke about or talk about?
I don't think so. No, I mean, there's stuff that I like. I mean, like sports knowledge I don't have, so I would. It's more like if I don't know about it or if I don't have experience about it. But no, there's no topics that I'm like, no. I mean, I know like straight men doing jokes about trans people that I'm like, this is not your lived experience, and the joke is bad. But I mean, then again, I know straight men doing jokes about like non-binary people, and that's not their experience, and I've heard very, very funny bits. Like, what's his name? Peter Revelo he's from New York, and he has this bit where he's like, I don't know about these non-binaries, but I know it sounds like you're having way more sex. Like, how'd it go last night? Oh, they were very pleased. Like that's like one of his bits, pretty much word for word, and
oh my God,
that's fun.
Funny.
That's good.
That's fun, and it's like uplifting. You're not punching down on the community. That's something that I really try to avoid doing, which is tricky when you're speaking from within a minority. You want to invite people to laugh with and not laugh at. And I think a lot of newer or even people who are established take any laughter as good feedback, and that you start to pay more attention to what kind of laughs you're getting. And if you're like, if all the people who look like me are not laughing and look upset, and all like the bro dudes are laughing, then like I'm probably punching down on myself, and how do I get like everybody laughing is the goal.
And who do you think you write for? Is it for yourself, or do you write for a certain demographic, or do you kind of base it on just the crowd that's in the audience for the night?
Okay, so because Kevin Hart said something that was like a joke should work in front of any audience, and I think that's absolutely fucking stupid thing to say, because like if I'm in a group full of like South Asian immigrants, like my parents' friends, then there are going to be jokes that I do specifically for them that like
Some
in
body
all
shaming
white,
jokes.
some straight to the body shaming, like hello diabetes, is there a doctor in the house? Because we could really use one. And if it's versus an all white audience, there's going to be jokes that don't make any sense to them. Like there's a hut means get out of the way. It's like what we say in crowds. You'd be like hut 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 hut. It just means like excuse me, or move your ass, depending on the tone. And there's a joke that's like, what did one pizza say to the other pizza? Pizza Hut. which is only funny if you like speak Hindi or come from. And it's a joke that I would often do if I saw a brown person in the audience, and then I would be like, see, that's what it's like for us when y'all are watching Seinfeld or whatever to explain that. And I would sometimes see people who don't understand what I'm saying laughing, and it would like upset me because I'm like, you don't know what that means. Why are you laughing? And then the more that you spend, I've been around shows where I don't understand the bit, but I'm laughing because other people are laughing, and I'm there to laugh, And I speak enough Spanish that I've done shows in Spanish, and sometimes I'm like, ha 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 ha, ja 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 ja. I'm like, I don't know why we're laughing, and then I'll be like, explain the joke to me later, or so for sure when I'm writing, I feel like I'm just writing to the human experience. And I'm like, this is my experience. This is relatable, right? And I felt very blessed that very early on, when I was like at an open mic, and I was like, I did a great job, just like making myself laugh. And a fellow comic was like, it's really cool that you don't give a fuck what other people think, but like you do kind of need to start to give a fuck. Like you need to. That's one side of it. You have to be able to stand really strong in your voice and take the information of like, this isn't hitting, not as like, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a fraud, I should just jump off a bridge, and be like, how do I make this into something that does resonate and make sense and work? And it's really exciting when you're saying something for a while that doesn't necessarily make sense, and then you change the order around, and then suddenly a joke hits in a way that, that's the craft then, where you're like, for years I've been saying this joke about a time that I went to Mexico with my mom, and she was like, are you Indian? Are you Indian? Are you Indian? And I was like, no, Ma, they're Mexican. You're Indian. And now just this year, through conversation, I added the line of like, okay, Christopher Columbus, and now it's like bop. It's got that bop where the audience gets to, we all know who Christopher Columbus is. We all know that he had the experience of being like, these people are Indian, and now we're sharing. We're also getting to understand the relationship between me and my mom in this way where it's like we're kind of razzing each other, and everybody knows what the difference between talking shit and like teasing is. So there's a lot that's happening in the world of the joke, and we can kind of like, look, see, we're all on the same page. Because for sure, when you see anybody on stage and you don't really get the jokes, you're like, I want to get this. And sometimes all it takes is like getting one thing, or like deciding that you like the person. And then you don't even necessarily have to like get all the jokes. You just get that you're on board for the experience. You know what I mean? So like that's more the trick. I'll always like pad stuff in the beginning with like kind of silly stuff. Where what have I been doing as my opener? Like I was just in Wisconsin. They go so hard for their state. We need that. Nobody in Chicago's like, make some Illinois, and it's stupid. It's like a stupid, silly thing to say, but it just disarms people, where they're like, a brown woman, scary, like I'm not. Is she gonna lecture us or yell at us about how trash men are? I'm like, we'll get to that. But right now, look, I'm silly.
There you go.
And then they're like, oh my God, she has her own ear horn. So I mean, and in terms of, I think I learned a lot from like juggling and fire dancing world, because I've been to a lot of circus stuff, and not like Barnum and Bailey or Cirque du Soleil, like very, very small tent stuff, and very like a lot of street performer stuff, where I mean some of the funniest shit I've seen is like a street performer guy, my very good friend Pierre-Ric, he's this Quebecer guy. He has incredible contracts in Dubai where he does like a 40-minute show for like $10,000 or something, but he's taken years and years and years to build that, and now he sells that as a product. And being with him in the beginning of the process, where he would to like 500 people in Paris near I don't remember the name of the place where this like dip was in the shopping center where audience could gather, and he would just like follow people around and kind of troll them in real life, where he would like follow like a bald guy and take a hat off of somebody else and be like, ooh, and put it on the bald. I'm doing like live clowning type of thing, right? Where it was like, and he would like put little couples together or whatever, and he hasn't said a single word, and it doesn't matter what language you speak. We're just all brought into this world of this street performer guy, and it feels like magic, because it feels like this is the only time that this has ever happened, even though he might be doing very similar acts every single day, you're like, oh my God. And then it's all this build up to build this structure where he's, using a kid, but he knows exactly what he's doing, just making the illusion of like, oh my God, it's so hard what I'm doing to get on this rope and juggle 5 balls for like 2 seconds, but it's all the build up to it where then finally the payoff of like seeing the trick where you're like, oh my God, and I think you learn a lot from that, because if you can command a presence on stage without even saying anything, then the speaking kind of becomes like not secondary, but like the next phase of it, right? So then when you get to be in the craft and feel like you're not only doing a good job, but you're having fun, and because you hear about it a lot, that there are a lot of comedians that like no matter what they achieve, they're still so unhappy, and unfulfilled, and there's a lot of like very unhinged, like that's part of why I feel so grateful that I didn't start doing it until I was in my 30s, because I felt like I got to really know myself and have a relationship with myself and the way that I navigate all of my emotions, because you still, you have a death in the family or something, you have a gig, yeah, you can handle it, but you have to be like actively grieving sometimes, and just to be able to be like, okay, and then wipe it off and be like, on stage, and still be able to move in and out of, put it up on the shelf and then come back to it. And you have to really be able to honor whatever you're actually going through, and take a lot of care of your mental state and your physical state. I feel like that's a trend that's happening. Comedians are becoming more health aware. It used to be a lot like, John Candy. That's not a sustainable lifestyle, and part of why how old was he when he died? It's like,
I want to say late 30s, early 40s.
God. Oh, yeah. Somebody was just telling me about the John Candy documentary on Disney Plus. Apparently it's really good.
Yeah, he's a good one. Now, I agree with you. It's it's really hard for a lot of people to put on and off the clown hat, if you will, or even just like putting your own personal stuff to the side and going up and performing. Because, like you said, you might go up there and not even say a single word, but if people believe in you and they're like, all right, I bought a ticket, I'm taking the ride, let's do this. Now, how do you get into that mindset? When you're about to go perform for the day or for the night, do you have any rituals, or are there certain things that you do in your personal life to kind of put those things up on a shelf, put on the clown hat and go out and perform?
Do I have rituals? Sometimes I haven't been doing this as much, but I'll feel like I think I'm so overwhelmed by the adrenaline of it that I'll literally just like crash out right before, like it'll be like the comic before me on stage and I'm backstage sitting down and I'll just like fall asleep. And people are like, what the fuck is happening? Like, how are you good? And I'm like, hey, I just, like, it was like a little power up nap. And I haven't done that in a while. I definitely don't do any weed stuff before I get on stage anymore. Like often I'll like immediately hop off of stage and pop in a little edible. And if I remember to, I'll be like, that edible is getting hit. I got to get out of here. The edible is about to hit. And that's one of my little tricks that I use to close my set or whatever. And I'll tell people, I'm like, so if I'm like really weird when you meet me, I'm just extremely stoned, which is very different from this like lucid kind of like cokey energy that you're getting in my natural state. Cocaine is definitely a waste on me. Which people that use cocaine, they don't love hearing that. They're like, how dare you? But I love psychedelics, and I wouldn't say that it's like part of my ritual, but I feel like at least a yearly or when I was much younger, it was way more often than that, just like take that time to really, melt into the oneness of it all. I think is cool. And being in a, to sound cheesy, but it's not at all cheesy, to be in like a very constant practice of like gratitude, and I think a lot of people do gratitude wrong, where they're like perpetuating a duality of like, I'm grateful for this stuff, but I'm not grateful for this other stuff. So let me focus on the stuff that I'm grateful for. And you, without realizing it, are kind of, creating this split where it's like I'm avoiding this stuff, and really you have to be grateful for the stuff that you're almost not grateful for, so that you're like, I'm grateful for this fucked up stuff that's happened so that I can be more present with the good stuff that's happening, and the constant reminder that it's like, it's truly incredible that we get to do this at all, and like I really mean it when I come out in front of an audience. I'm like, thank you so much for being here, because if you weren't here, then it's just us being nuts, and maybe you're not even here, man, but the fact that you're here allows us to maintain this, and keep it going, and we shan't be replaced by the robots, I don't think, which feels scary that AI is coming for everybody. And I mean, I'm very much from a country where like it's very dangerous to speak truth. Forget about truth to power, just any sort of truth. It'll be like killer, and shut her down, and just being allowed to speak out loud and have opinion and leave the house and travel, and like it's super dangerous to do that in a lot of other places in the world. Even just to like be able to take the train late at night, which I don't recommend, but I like doing it. I like doing it. I should just have my air horn on me. Somebody tries to fuck with me.
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
they're like, that's not that loud. They stab me faster.
She's crazy too.
Yeah.
Now, you talked about the come up, when you're getting ready for a show. What about the come down after the show? When you take off the clown hat, how do you kind of get back into normalcy?
I don't think there's really any putting on or taking off of a hat. It's more just like, okay, boom, now you're like on stage doing it. And I think I'm definitely getting better at the like the meeting and greeting, and I'm always very anxious, to be like, I'm getting the fuck out of here, but especially when you've done a good job, you want to stick around. And now I'm to the point where I'm like, okay, let me get your email, and I'm like going around with my little, my website is a work in progress. If anybody out there wants to help, and as a volunteer and as a tribute, and just to be in like the collecting emails and treating that like the job. I've worked with enough people now where like I worked with Best Stelling for a weekend at Comedy on State. I was hosting, and God, she has like any number of Netflix and HBO specials, and she's like a very like low key celebrity. She's been on Marin and this, that, and the other, and she was so cool and so easy to hang out with and work. She was very gracious. Anytime we were not at the theater, she'd be like, we're getting ice cream, and she's like, are you paid? No, don't pay. I'll pay. I know you're getting paid way less than me, and you're like, oh, I accidentally paid, and then she'll like Venmo you, and she's like, no. And it's at least an hour after the show of like just doing the merch line, and she's like, this is one of my favorite parts of the gig, like I'm literally just queued up so people can tell me how awesome I am. And I'm like, look at that simple shift. Instead of like, oh my God, it's so intense talking to all these people, it's like, I get to like talk about how awesome I am, and it's little things like that where you kind of shift the narrative, and you're like, okay, this is still the job. And I definitely like look forward to, I mean, I'll hang, but I'll be like, I just want to go home. And I do a lot of foam rolling and a lot of, stretching, and I juggle at home, and
Do you still do a lot of the circus performance stuff?
I don't do any of the performance stuff because oh my God, it stresses me out so much, because it's like there's so much, like juggling on stage is like inconceivable to me, because like the lighting is always really bad. So whenever I see any sort of live juggling, I'm like, this is insane that he could do it, and like just being able to pick up drops and keep it very fluid. No, it's something that and fire dancing, I'll still do a little gig here and there, which is, in the States it's so different from in India. You can just pull up in front of anywhere, and in Europe in a lot of places you can just be like, boom, you put out a hat, fire dancing, the cops maybe will come, they'll let you finish your act and then be like, get the fuck out of here. Here they're like, do you have a permit? And it's like, oh my God, relax. Shut the fuck up. Go join ICE, you fucking loser. But abolish ICE all day. And that, so I still like go to juggle club. I mean, I haven't been in ages, but in the summertime, every Tuesday at Palmer Square, like the boulevard.
Yeah.
Where they still, I think that will be till the end of time. These guys will gather. And it's like, it's so cute because people think comedians are socially awkward. I'm like, have you ever met like jugglers? Those people or like, do not talk to me, a girl. Oh no, and it's actually I say that, and it's also some of my most long-term friendships. That I juggled way before I did stand-up. So now it's cool because some of them I've known since I was like, I'm gonna start doing stand-up, and they're like, that's great, so you got this. Because juggling is such a tangible feedback. Where you're like, oh, I dropped it, versus like, oh my god, I'm doing it, I'm doing a trick, and that is a feeling that's really kind of irreplaceable. And no matter how good I get, I'll always feel like I'm so entry level compared to some of these guys that I know that I can just, I don't even need an edible. I'm just like, whoa, watching these guys. I think it's crazy that I wish in Europe way more people juggle, and in South America, you have a lot more of like a traffic light culture where you get like a little mini show.
Yeah,
at traffic
people
lights.
aren't working 3 jobs to survive.
Or that's like the only
Get a little
job
more
that they
time.
can get. That
too.
is their job.
Yeah.
That's not.
I live up on in like Little India and up on Devon.
Devon,
I
yeah.
always see people juggling. And
Really?
I was like, yeah, I'm like, get it, dude. I would.
Where?
I tip them every time. Like Devon and Western, I see them, and then a lot on like.
That's like the main intersection. Do you eat up there a lot?
A little bit sometimes.
Are you nervous?
About eating
Indian food or Pakistani
No,
food?
I like Indian food. I do. Not always my favorite, but no, I eat it from time to time. I don't eat out that much. I really don't.
Do you cook a lot?
I do.
Oh, that's awesome.
I try.
What do you like cooking?
God, I don't know. I don't even follow instructions. I kind of just cook on a whim.
What is savant?
Well, I used to get stoned and watch the Food Network a lot in college. So
A lot of knowledge in there.
And then when you grow up with, when my mom passed when I was young, so like I kind of just had to learn how to do it on my own.
Yeah.
So no, it's a good. So yeah, I don't go out to eat that much. But speaking of food, I'm getting a little hungry, and we do got to get rolling here. We've been going
That
for
went
2
fast.
hours now.
Yeah, that went fast.
Yeah.
I knew it would.
I got to get back up to the jugglers on Devon right now. Yeah. Well, Sonal, it was really wonderful. Sonal. Oh, fuck. Sonal, thank you again for coming on the show tonight. We really appreciate it.
It's such a pleasure.
Is there anything else you want to tell the audience? Any last words? I know you hate when people ask you when you're performing next, but
No, this is different. This is like the setting is appropriate. Where you can follow me at Sonal Media. I don't have like a sign up for my mailing list, but I should set that link up. So everybody's talking about it. A lot of buzz about my upcoming mailing list. And I do have like a mini mailing list. And then I have that show on Saturday, the 7th at 10 p.m. Tickets are available in my bio and on the 22nd at Nighthawk.
And your website?
My website is the best way to reach me is Instagram, really, and my website is Sonal Media. I'm pretty sure Sonal Aggarwal redirects to Sonal Media. I should have a better handle on this. I'm working on my digital presence, but my in-person presence, I put most of my work into.
And we have all of her information down into the description below. Please give her a like, give her a follow. Tell her that Hawk Wind sent you. Thank you again. Really appreciate you joining us tonight. Well, Jay Smooth, let's close out the show, my friend.
Oh, yeah, let's do it.
Well, again, thank you guys again for joining us here at Hawk Wins Radio Picture Show. We're going to hop on out of here. For those of you who have been sticking around with our show, you know that at the end of each show, we always like to send you guys out with a little message, a little words of wisdom. Do you got anything for the audience this month, this week, Jay Smooth?
I'll let you take care of this one.
I'm gonna throw a curveball here. Everyone, I think it's funny because I was thinking about this on the car ride here, that at the end of each show, we're always like, do better, do good things, try something new, try your favorite lasagna this time. I was really reading up on the importance of sometimes saying no. I know a lot of times, a lot of entertainers, especially like us, we want to be people pleasers. And we always want to say, yes, I'll be there for you. Yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do that. And then sometimes they overbook themselves. Sometimes they agree to do some things they don't necessarily want to do, and then they feel obligated to do it. So my challenge for everybody this week is to sometimes practice saying no or maybe. Because sometimes, again, like I have ADHD. I'm so just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do this. Let's do that. It's okay to say no or maybe, or like, let me get back to you on that, just to kind of recalibrate a little bit. I think it's an important thing. You can't spread yourself too thin. And yeah, sometimes you just got to say no, especially to the powers that be in the world. You got to say, I'm sick of this shit, and I'm done feeling sick of this shit. So sometimes it's okay to say no. And yeah, that's what I got for the people for the week.
No.
No. So as always, thank you guys for joining us here at Hawk Wins Radio Picture Show. My name is Jack Dwyer.
And I'm Jay Smooth.
Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week. See you Wednesday. And again, check out any of our videos from our previous interviews as well. Check out some of our shorts. If you like the show, share it. Share it with your wife. Share it with your girlfriend. Just don't share it in the same group chat. Peace and love. Y'all have a great night.